Social Security just got some shocking news. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, some new information was just released on Social Security and some major changes may be coming to these programs which would impact about 70 million beneficiaries and millions of other Americans who are just about to start claiming their Social Security benefits. That's what I want to talk about here in the video, so let's get right into it and discuss what's going on. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all these new announcements and all this new information, just like what we're going to talk about right here in this video. As it's hitting the wire, I'm doing all that research and breaking it down into these videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on and, most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything out there right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary, including money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus, or anything like that. Of course, I want to bring it to your attention right away. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll be here for you right by your side every day. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, I'm sticking to it. Alright, thanks again. Let's jump into and talk about the new information that just hit the wire on Social Security and some major changes that could be taking place as a result of what some lawmakers are now introducing. Alright, so let's be real. We've seen so many pieces of legislation. We've seen so many different lawmakers coming out over the last year and a half, 2 years, the last few years here, coming out with all these different proposals and pieces of legislation on how they want to reform Social Security and do all these different changes. However, here's a little bit of a new one. Now, we have heard a little bit about this over the last couple years, but there hasn't been a whole lot of talk about this. But now we're hearing about it, and I want to bring this to your attention because this would impact a lot of people in a really big way. Alright, so let me break down the details about this. There's a bunch of different numbers that I want to walk through with you, a bunch of different things that they've been announcing here, and I want to bring this to your attention. Alright, so as of right now, the full retirement age for people receiving Social Security is anywhere between about 66 and 67 years old. Now, as of recently, we got the latest announcement out of Social Security suggesting the last increase on the full retirement age would be 67. However, the new pieces of legislation going around Congress right now, and what some of the lawmakers are talking about, is raising the full retirement age for Social Security up to the age of 70. Not only that, get this. When you are turning 65, guess what you get to do when you're 65? You get to enroll in Medicare, right? So 65. You actually get to enroll 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month of your 65th birthday, and 3 months after your 65th birthday. There's a 7-month enrollment period for enrolling in Medicare, right? However, I'm not going to make this video all about Medicare, but this is what we know about Medicare. 65 is the key number. However, get this. They also want to raise the eligibility age on Medicare to 70. Wow, seriously, that is a huge increase. 5 more years. We're not talking like a couple months or a year. We're talking 5 years. That's a long time, right? 5 years is a very long time. So what they're talking about is potentially raising the full retirement age for Social Security up to the age of 70 and the age of eligibility for Medicare, again, to the age of 70, both of them. Why would they do such a thing? Well, here's a couple of reasons why. Number one is Social Security and Medicare financially are kind of not doing that well, okay? We know this. However, Social Security is doing far better than Medicare. Medicare is not good. Financially, Medicare is kind of on the brink, okay? Medicare is not doing very well. However, Social Security, they still have a couple $1 trillion in the trust fund. They're kind of good to go for at least the next decade or so. But again, they've also got some major problems on the horizon as well, right? So the whole idea behind this would be to make sure that Social Security beneficiaries continue to get their guaranteed and promised benefits for virtually their entire lifespan. Well, as a result of that, Americans continue to increase our life expectancy, okay? So depending on, again, this is kind of interesting. I looked at the chart all across the entire United States. The life expectancy of Americans is anywhere between about 82 and 84 years old. That's pretty good, right? That's increased a ton over the last several decades. That has continued to increase. Well, as a result of life expectancy continuing to get higher and higher, They feel like, hey, the full retirement age of somebody claiming Social Security between 66 and 67 is pretty young, you know? Again, these are not my words. These are the words of what they're talking about and the justification for why they want to raise the full retirement age of Social Security to 70 and, of course, the eligibility for Medicare to the age of 70 as well. Because our life expectancy in this country continues to get older and older. Again, raising up to kind of the mid-80s range, okay? So that's why kind of where we're sitting on this. And again, because of all the financial issues that Medicare and Social Security are dealing with right now, again, all of this is kind of coming together for why they would want to do this as well, okay? Let me point this out again, because the reports were going on to show more details about this, and I thought this was also very interesting. They were saying that the average American retires at the age of 61. That's 5 years prior to most people being able to claim their Social Security benefits, right? Between age 66 and 67. The average retiree retires at 61. So I thought that was very interesting. Honestly, that's younger than I thought it would be. So I was kind of surprised by that number. I thought it was going to be more around the mid-60s. But the problem with this is, here's the deal. Is right now we know that people can start claiming and enrolling in Medicare coverages at 65. Now here's the deal, and there's a lot of pushback on this because many of the officials and the experts and the analysts that are watching this are suggesting this is going to cause a major problem with those individuals between the ages of 65 and 70, especially with their health care, because what are they supposed to do during that time? Again, somebody that's age 65 to age 70, again, healthcare becomes a larger expense in life, right? Well, as a result of that, many of these people are suggesting that this is going to put a major financial burden on those individuals pretty much between the ages of 65 and 70, because all of a sudden you maybe were covered by Medicare and they were covering a lot of your healthcare coverages. Well, now, if you're not going to get that until the age of 70, well, now what? That just means that these older adults and, the elderly people that are, should be on Medicare, unfortunately, are not getting those benefits and would then need to be relying on other healthcare coverages. And again, premiums can be very expensive. In fact, the information was going on to show that premiums alone for somebody between the ages of 65 and 70 not on Medicare, premiums alone every year could be above $10,000. That's almost $1,000 a month. In fact, that's about $830 a month for the average person between the ages of 65 and 70. That's a lot of money, right? $830. Just imagine that. That's like pretty much your entire Social Security benefit. You know what I mean? That is a huge amount. And again, as you can see here, that would cause a major concern for a lot of people saying, this simply doesn't make sense. So basically, we're going to push out Medicare eligibility out to the age of 70, and therefore, pretty much anybody who might be receiving Social Security at that point would be spending virtually their entire benefit on just healthcare premiums. Nah, that's not going to make sense. Now, here's the deal with this as well. This likely wouldn't go into effect for a very long time, and it likely also wouldn't impact anybody who is currently receiving Social Security or Medicare benefits. So that is pretty much the good thing about that. This would only impact those individuals who are younger. In fact, according to the reports in the articles that I was reading on this, they were suggesting that this would probably not impact anybody above the age of 40. So if you're pretty much like 40 or above, this probably wouldn't impact you. However, if you're under the age of 40, well, then we've got a different story we need to talk about, okay? And this is what they're suggesting is that's kind of roughly the age on this. Now again, as they were to continue to work their way through Congress on this, and they were to continue to negotiate all the details on this, of course, some of these numbers and some of these age ranges and full retirement age and eligibility for Medicare and things like this would possibly also be adjusted as well. But that was just kind of a round number that they were giving is basically, if you're older than 40, you're probably fine. It's not going to impact you. If you're younger than 40, then look out, because this is probably going to impact you, and you may not be able to claim Social Security until age 70, and even enroll in Medicare until 70 as well. But see, these are some of the proposals that are out there right now, and what some of the lawmakers are talking about as far as what they can do to improve the finances of Social Security. Now again, there are many other proposals out there, including raising taxes on the wealthy or the high income, There's also a variety of other things out there. There's a lot of different proposals. They're trying to tackle this in a variety of different ways to see what they can do to actually improve the finances of these programs. But again, this is just another one that's out there. And again, I want to bring this to your attention because this is very important. And honestly, it's kind of shocking. Seriously, they continue to move the goalposts, right? We've talked about this for many, many years now, and you've probably been hearing it throughout your entire life. They keep moving the goalpost, right? They can move the goalposts faster than what time actually goes on, right? So it's kind of hard to catch up to the goalpost when the days tick by. We can't speed up time, and I don't think any of us want to speed up time for the most part, right? It seems like time already goes fast enough. But as time continues to tick on, all of a sudden you start to get close and they say, just kidding, we've moved the goalpost out another 5 years. Really? How are we supposed to compete with that, right? You can't. It's very hard to compete with time because we can't do anything about time other than just continue to wait. That's all we can do. So anyway, this is just more information circling around out there about Social Security and some of the changes that they want to make to it, along with all of the other changes that they're considering. There's a lot of different things that they want to do to Social Security, not only retirement, but SSDI and SSI and all of these other fixed income benefits, Medicare as well, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, all of these programs. There's a lot of different talk out there and a lot of different changes that they want to bring in. Either way, I'm watching all of this very closely, and I'll bring it to your attention as I get more details on this. But this is just another one that's been out there a little while lately, and I wanted to bring it to your attention right away. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later.